Hi everyone, thank you. Thanks for joining. In this video, we are going to explore wildcard characters in Solace topic subscription. Now, Solace is slightly different than Confluent Kafka in that when you subscribe to Confluent topic, you have to give the exact same name of the topic that you are subscribing to, whereas Solace is more hierarchical and it allows you to kind of use wild characters into topic subscription. So just to ground on what the Solace is a real-time event streaming broker. So there are producers on the left that produce the messages and push onto the broker, and then broker then passes on those messages to the consumers, and then consumers subscribe to those topics on brokers. But in this case, because they are hierarchical, there is a possibility of using the topic names with wildcards. And there are two wildcards, the asterisk sign and the greater than sign, that are used in topic subscription. And I want to make a small video on my learning, share my learnings on what how those wildcards operate. So stay tuned. All right, so first we'll talk about the asterisk wildcard. So asterisk, it means it's like a wildcard which includes everything that matches that pattern. So now, for example, in this case, if asterisk appears by itself at a level within a topic subscription, it indicates wildcard match at that level. For example, if you have animal slash star slash cats, then it will match everything that is in animals, that will match with animal slash wild slash cats or animal slash domestic slash cats. Or if it were or if your subscription, or if you are subscribed to animal slash domestic slash star, then it will read all the messages that are sent to animals slash domestic slash say cats slash dogs, whatever. But it won't fetch the messages that are slash animal slash domestic slash cat slash dogs. It will only match at that level. So just to give an example of what I'm talking about, like animal slash domestic slash star matches animals domestic cats and animals domestic dogs, but it does not match dogs animals domestic dogs and beagles. So just to look at the example here in real time, um, let me open the Solace screen. So on my left, so I'm using this try me. On my left is the producer, and then on my right is the subscriber. So I'm going to produce to animals, domestic cats, and I'm going to subscribe to the topic, which is animals slash domestic slash star, and then I subscribe to that. Now if I send message to animals domestic cats, then it will receive here, and it's received here. And say if I send it to dogs, then the message will be received here. So you can say the count is incrementing by 2. But if I send it by, say, if I send a message to beagles, then it's not going to be delivered here. So that's what that means. So this is one of the patterns. So let me go look at another pattern. So the next pattern is if star is preceded by a topic prefix. So if you have something like animal slash red star wild, that will match with animals red wild or animals reddish wild or whatever. So let's try that one as well with a real example. So you have animal red, and let's say wild, just to match what I just talked about, and we call it generate topic. So now I'm going to send it to animal red wild, and I'm going to subscribe to animal red star wild, and I'm going to clear all the messages here, clear the stats, and I'm going to subscribe it this way. So I'm going to send message to animal red wild, and it should be received by animal red wild. So it's received here, so it's received. Now if I, instead of red, if I send it to say red oak, animal red oak wild, let's see if it's received. And yes, it is received because it matches the red star. But if I have something like animal Reebok wild, and if I try to publish, then it is not going to be received because it does not match red star pattern. So let's go to the third pattern here. So the third is the prefix can be used as multiple levels within a topic subscription with or without topic. So you can use animals slash star slash cats slash star, and then it will match with animals and whatever topic description here, then cats slash whatever. So it will match with animals domestic cat, Persian, animals wild cats, leopard, but will not match animals domestic cat, Persian grey. So it will only match up to that level. So one, two, three, and four. But here last one has five, so it will not match. So let's again look at an example and see how the match occurs. So we had animals domestic, and then we'll have cats, and then we'll have, say, we'll start with wild, and let me generate the topic. And so I'll just put 1 and 3 nines, and I'm going to clear the stats here, clear the subscription, and I'm going to remove this subscription, and I'm going to subscribe to animal star cat star, and let's see if it message reaches here. So it should reach because it matches animal star cat star. I'm going to publish. So it reaches, so one message here and the same message. Now um, instead of wild you had, say, Persian, then also it would match, and let's say you publish the message and it matched. But if you had something like animal domestic, and if you had animal domestic cats, house cat slash Persian, then it's not going to match because the match is only that level. And here we are subscribed at animal star cat star. So now let's clear the status, let's clear the messages, and if I try to publish here, it's not going to. But if I remove the word Persian here, then it's going to match and it's going to be received because it is animal star cat star. So if I publish here, then it's received. So that's how it works. So let's see what the fourth pattern is. Fourth pattern is, if you put star, say if you have animal star bro within a level, so it has to be something star, it cannot be star bro, then it is considered to be a literal, not like a wild card. So let's look at an example here. So you had animals, let me make this a little bit smaller so that we can read. So you're trying to, okay, so let's post to, okay, so now we are going to post to animals. So we're going to post to animals domestic, and we are going to subscribe to animal slash subscribe that. And then I'm going to clear the stats, clear the messages. And then if I publish, it's going to be received because it is still matching DOM star. Now, instead of DOM star, if I had star DOM, let's see if that matches. So remove this subscription, subscribe, and I'm going to, okay, so it's not even taking it as subscription. So invalid topic, illegal wildcard. So you cannot have wildcard like this. So yeah, so it's not allowing even to subscribe. So you cannot have it that way. It's considered to be literal. So that's not going to work. So this is how you use asterisk wildcard. So now let's try and see a different wildcard. So this is the greater than sign wildcard. So it is one or more match for any of the topics. So for example, if you have animal domestic slash and then the greater than sign, then it will not match animal domestic, but it will match anything underneath. So you can have animals domestic cats, animal domestic dogs, or animal domestic dogs beagles. So it was not matching with star, but now it's going to match with at a lower level as well. So it is one or more level. So let's try that one. So let's go ahead and bring up our screen here. So we are going to post to animal dogs, animal domestic, and then we are going to post to cats, and then generate the topic here. So this is where I'm going to post, and let's clear the stats, clear the messages, and we are going to subscribe to animals slash domestic, animal slash domestic slash greater than sign. So it will catch everything that is within domestic. So if I let me subscribe here, and if I publish it here, then you can see one message received. And instead of dogs, if instead of cats, if I had dogs, then the message will still be received. And then if you have beagles, it still be received. And if I had even further, that will still be received. So you can see the count incrementing. But if you remove all of this, and if you only post the message to animal domestic, then it's not going to be received. So let me clear the stats, let me clear our messages, and if I publish it here, you won't see the message. And if you want, you can see that the message is publishing. So 25 message. Now if I publish it, the count is 26, 27. So the message is getting published, but it's not received by this subscriber because it only has on animal slash domestic slash greater than sign. So that's how the greater than sign works. The next one is a greater than sign that appears anywhere other than by itself at last level is treated as a character. So, for example, if you had animal greater than sign or animal slash domestic without that last backslash, then it's not going to match. They are literal subscriptions. So, for example, let me try that. So here you're posting to animal domestic and you are going to subscribe to animal greater than sign. Okay, so it is subscribing, but it's not going to be received. So we publish it here. Message is counted increasing, but not. But if you remove this and if you make it animal greater sign and then generate the topic, so it's going to publish to this topic and it's going to be received. So let's go ahead and publish. So you can see the message. So in this case, it is considered to be literal because it did not have that backslash sign. So that is the kind of how the wildcard works. And then the last thing is that you can use the greater than sign and star sign both if you wanted to. So for example, you can have animal star cat slash, right? So then it will match the wildcard pattern, both the wildcard patterns. So let's try that. So so let me make this a little bit smaller here. And so we want to match to animal domestic, and then and so generate the topic here. So let me remove the greater than sign here. So I'm generating the topic here. Now what we want to match is animal star, let's say cats, and then we have to say here the greater than sign. So now it will match with animals anything, so animal domestic cats, and then it will still match Persian. So let's go ahead and see if we receive the messages here. So let's subscribe to this, and I will remove this subscription, and then I'll clear the stats, clear the messages. So we push 31 messages. So let me clear the stats here. So let me publish this message, and it should be received because it has greater than sign and it has star. So let's go ahead. So now you can see that the message was received. And now you had Persian, so and then you can say small. And if you change this topic, it will still be received. Because of that greater than sign, it will continue to be received. So you can see two messages here. So instead of domestic, you can have things like wild, read the topic. Now we are receiving messages from animal stars slash cats, and if you publish this, you'll still get the message. So four messages. uh, Now it's not going to, let's say instead of cats, now if you can say dogs. So now animal wild dogs. So now it's not going to match animal star will match, but dogs it's not going to match. So now if you publish here, five messages was not received. It's not received. So that's how it's works. So this is how Solace allows you flexibility by using this star and greater than sign wildcards to be able to subscribe the topic and kind of help you receive those messages based on those wildcard characters. I found that to be very useful, more flexible compared to Kafka topic, where you had to give the actual name of the exact name of the topic. Here it allows some flexibility. There are pluses and minuses for both approaches. But I found that interesting, so I thought I would share this with you. And of course, you can find this information on Solace Developer as well. I kind of took notes from that and kind of put it in here just for my learning and for sharing. Thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.